Okay, welcome back, everyone. The Fate Eternal Wait, session 13?
Yes, 13.
Yee!
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know what?
Numbers.
I came that off the top of my head. So, last time, the Masters of Chaldea arrived in Manhattan and started doing, well, some of them had to take take a load off, some of them started doing investigations. They also met their best friend, Beryl Goot, the
Fuck no.
potentially worst person imaginable. But you know, maybe he'll show you a good side to him. Maybe.
Bullshiz.
Okay, I'm
They
gonna
also
say this.
encountered rats in the New York subway, so that was also a very problematic thing to deal with.
I thought you were gonna say that wasn't really an encounter. That's just a thing that happens in New York.
Yeah. Like, folks be scared for nothing. Like,
Okay, I have to say this right now. I was making fucking Ivan's goddamn like wiki page on Google Documents so I could send it to Jericho and like have him fix it up. And one of the things that I put in his dislikes, you can read out of the VC chat. It's at the very end.
The stream can't read out of the VC chat, so you're gonna have to tell us.
It literally
Yeah.
says dislikes, hospitals, dead apostles, crowds, loud people, needles, root association magi, a Shemeka Alice Al Kavaji, barrel gut.
That's kind of mean. That makes you a chill guy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know,
What's wrong with this dude?
There are pros and cons. Yeah, what's wrong with this dude?
let's see. Let me count the
So-
ways. How many times could I shoot him?
But yeah, last time, well, we were completing up phase 5. The only thing we had left was Jay, right? Like everyone else had
Yep.
already
Yeah.
completed phase 5.
I still
Because
have
you-
mine to go as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to go investigate as well. Because you were
Yeah.
doing the mage side of investigation.
I thought that we had done the bounty already, but if you're heading to the comic book store now, we can do that bit after Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, I should have probably refreshed myself properly
Don't worry.
for last session, but yeah. So, we're going to go on Jay's trip. Unfortunately, as you were looking for, well, you know,
We were looking for
like
the street
Bloods or
thugs.
Crips.
Yeah, the Bloods, the Crips.
I will say that while it's kind of difficult for you to actually find like proper like street thugs, you are actually able to find well, that place you were looking for. That
Yeah.
what was it, like a club or a bar?
Yeah, it's a bar. It's Rouse. It's an actual mobster bar that still has mobsters. It's one of those. It's one of those old bars that a lot of actors in New York go to, who
Yeah.
want to be who want to experience the life, but also everybody knows it's been a mob hangout since like the friggin' 40s. So yeah.
But yeah, so also you managed to make your way in there. How do you like enter? I suppose what's your modus operandi here?
Like, this is a mob place, so you gotta be like gentlemanly. So Jay is on his best behavior. It's still cold outside, so he's not taking off his top. Ash. He's gonna keep his top coat on. He's gonna he's going to like how he would usually do. He would fold when he'd take his hat off, going up to the bar. He'd fold up his hat, but knowing the type of hat he has, he's going to be extra careful. Remembering how they used to do it on friggin' Peaky Blinders and shiz, and he puts it in his inside coat pocket.
Yeah.
And from looking at the interior rouse from like travel magazines and shenaniganry, it's a really classy. It's like a classy mid-end bar. Almost give you like family diner.
Yeah.
Type of vibes.
It's very classy, honestly. It's got like candlelight and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But as you know, as you kind of like go and sit down, and like the waiter kind of comes over. What you getting like a table for one? Like what kind of order are you getting?
Yeah, table for one. We getting some we going to get some pasta. We going to get some pasta. We're getting some scotch on the rocks.
Yeah.
And be generous with the tip. Because
As
this
you
is the
would.
kind of place you gotta be generous to. Otherwise, you get some looks.
What is generous in America?
For this kind of bar,
30%?
yeah, kind of like 30%,
Jeez.
but because like here's the thing, it's an old school mob bar where
Yeah.
they know they on the take.
But as you kind of like sit down, they get you your well, they actually ask you like, you want the drinks with the meal or you want now?
Oh, I'll take it now.
And as they pass it to you, you kind of like hear a bunch of guys like just kind of like like laughing, and you kind of hear, yeah, New York pizza, it's fine, sure, but let me tell you, there's some places with some crazy pizza. I went to this place in the United Kingdom, Zizi's. They gave you an oblong pizza. It's like square pizza, but like an oblong. And you see another seemingly the boss. Like a bunch of men in suits. One of them with like a big fur coat. And you kind of like see like the big guy just kind of like go like, the fuck's an oblong? What do you mean oblong pizza? What? Well, boss, it's like a circle pizza, but it's like long. So is it circle or is it square? It's an oblong. The fuck's an oblong? Okay, look. And you like see him like just grab a pen and like draw like something on the napkin, pass it to him. That's a square with rounded sides. That's a square. No, it's not a square though. It's an oblong. It's like an oval, but it's wide, and then it's like, come on, it's an oblong.
Jay has gotta cut in at this point, man. This is
Like,
so
no.
stupid.
The stupid thing is, you making me think of friggin' Goodfellas.
I'm gonna.
The bar
Hey,
scene.
if you don't shut up about this oblong business, I'm gonna make sure this fist all belongs on your face.
Legit. Actually, Jericho, looking at these dudes, like, granted, most of the guys in here are like high class suits, black tie, all the nine. Do these guys give me the vibes of somebody from like the 40s or the 60s mobsters?
Oh, for sure. Like, these are kind of like classical, like, 60s mobsters. Like, it really, like, if anything, these guys look kind of like. Obviously the mob isn't like this now, but this is what people think the mob looks like. It almost looks like they'd be cosplayers if you didn't know, what the Cascada family's whole deal was.
So, with Jay's knowledge of crime noir books and mob movies, he can assume the guy with the fur coat is probably one of the underbosses or something like that.
Something like that.
And these are his soldiers just having a drink or some shiz.
Yeah, they do have a pizza between them all.
Jay at the bar, like overhearing them talk about pizza and shiz, will be kind of look over to the bartender, and he'll ask in, well, going back to Jack. Well, I say after he went to the after he went to the friggin' barbers, like in that in between, he did do a little bit of makeup.
Yeah.
To give him the frig off scar. Also, wait, I should put my token down.
Yes, you should. Go down. Go ahead.
Hold on, let's see.
It is your default token right now. It should be, at least.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, there we go.
So, yeah, black suit jacket, kind of a dark red burgundy button-up shirt, a chain, this friggin' tan top coat. Jay with fresh cut, scar on his cheek. Well, technically not an actual scar, but it looks like a nasty scar that that kind of healed over. And essentially, yeah, like nice greased hair, nice hair that he had the barber greased up a little bit, so looks nice. He's got a little bit of his waves, and he looks over to the bartender. He's like, got some interesting characters in here tonight.
Like the bartender, the boss just kind of like goes like, yeah, they're here every few days or so. They pay well, and they're not actually that much of a nuisance beside the noise, so they're not a problem. If it gets too much for you, tell me and I'll tell them to quiet down. They respect me.
Yeah, it's fun. What they usually order for drinks? Seem like decent enough folks.
The one over there, they're like, bunch of the guys, they just order whatever, rum, beer, something like that. The guy in the middle usually orders a prosecco, like a spritz.
Let's see. Jay goes in his wallet, gets like $120. Send him over a couple bottles. Mr. Lucas.
The guy just kind of like raises an eyebrow at you and then just kind of, but does see like, you presenting the money, and he just kind of like closes his eyes and shrugs like, all right, you got it. And after waiting a while, you do see him like, go behind the counter and then like later on just like kind of walk over to them. You see him like, even though they were very like loud and stuff, when the boss comes over, you kind of like can't even really hear what they're saying. You just see their mouths moving. Like they seem to really respect this guy. But
Okay.
You do see like the guys like like have a start drinking, but you see the guy in the fur coat kind of like you can't really see his eyes from underneath his big like fedora, but he does seem to like his head seems like motion towards you, kind of like in a
Like, come
come here sort of yeah, some sort of a gesture.
Yeah. Jay seen the mob movies. He know what it means. Like, and thinking in his head. Okay, Casta. I think we found some of the folks we're looking for. So if things go hairy, if they try taking me to the back, be ready to try and help for backup.
What's it called? What Caster kind of like says to you actually is what's it called? You kind of hear got it, Jay. But I'm assuming I can't exactly use my magecraft on these guys. Might cause a scene, so what's the game plan?
If the worst comes to worst, goes to fists. I got a piece on me. Some old school hardware they might be familiar with. And
Alright. Well, I guess I am also still a heroic spirit. I can help you out a little bit, but I'll let you handle it, and I'll only step in when you say the word. Gotcha?
got it. And Jay kind of politely getting up from his seat, sort of straightening himself up, walking with confidence. Walks over to the table.
Yeah. Kind of the regular guys kind of like start to like look at you as you kind of like walk over, and then the guy with the coat just says like, "What are you doing, you fucks? Pull him up a chair. Don't be rude." As one of them does so. Kind of says, "I appreciate the drinks you bought us, Mr. Lucas."
Well, seeing how I'm in the city now, figured it'd be the polite thing to do.
Say, you don't look like no local. What are you what's your business here? Clearly know who we are.
Bit of business, bit of pleasure. You right, I ain't a local down here, up here. Used to have some family up here, truth be told. Just going through the old neighborhood, as it were.
That's so. Well, Mr. Lucas, anything we can do for you? Since you were so kind to offer us a drink.
Well, I know. Now, I usually keep my ear to the ground. Now, and seeing how you also are some real upstanding and guys, figured might see see how the city running with you boys, and figured might as well get some connections going. You know, meet new people, conversating. Figure I made some decent associates. Streets be rough these days.
I suppose that's true enough, Mr. Lucas. All right. Well, kind of like shifting his head toward like his boys and just kind of like, you know, filling his glass with like well, rather not filling the glass, but like, you know, just like lifting his spritz cocktail and just kind of like raising it to you and says, they call me Big Fish. I'm let's just say that nothing gets past me around these parts.
Name? Name's Jack. Jack Lucas. New in town. Just got back from down south, from a nickel down south.
And you said you were just visiting your old neighborhood, maybe visiting some family, but what's your actual game?
No, so like how old these guys look?
These guys look, honestly, like these guys look like they were made pretty recently. They look maybe like in like 25, 26.
Okay,
but
so they recently made guys.
Yeah, but the guy in the coat does look like he's in his like 40s.
Oh, if he's in his 40s, he might actually know a bit. Okay. Well, and he said like, "What's my game here?"
Yeah.
Well, no, nothing gets past you, Big Fish. But I'm looking. Like I said, I'm looking to make some good connections. Now, don't know about your boys, but you might put the pieces together. About let's see, it's 23. About 4 years ago, you know, Uncle kicked the bucket. You might know.
When you
might know.
Yeah, go on.
You might know who we do. You might have had mutual acquaintance with. Y'all might have had a mutual acquaintance with him, or folks you might have known.
I did assume, but it's nice to have that confirmation. And you kind of see him like do like the sign of the cross. Say, may your soul rest in peace. Piece of work.
Look, ain't no lie, my uncle used to run his mouth a lot about the good old days. My mom always told me, don't try being a big shot like Uncle Frank and Uncle Bumpy. And,
Well, I do want to say that I do hope you're listening to your ma. See, these streets, well, let me tell you, not for nothing, but these streets run by the Cascadas now. And don't know if you've heard, if you've been keeping your ear to the ground, but We operate on classical rules now. So, fortunately for you, we don't do drugs no more.
But that was my uncle. That was mostly my uncle's thing. Never could wrap my head around it. Been in a few, had a few scrapes with the law back down in New Orleans. Big city up here. Seems kind of nice, and hey, I heard about the Cascadas a bit when getting into town. Ain't like the Gambi. Ain't much like the Gambinos. Those are the Colombos. Figured might be good people to get in touch with.
Well, ain't that the truth? Those classic 7 commandments, they're, well, let's just say that they're back in action now that the Cascadas got their fingers in the pie. But, well, if you're looking to make some proper connections, I can nudge you in the way where you gotta go.
I'm gonna roll me an insight check real quick. See if like these guys are like, hey, we actually gonna give you connections, or are they waiting to give me some cement shoes?
Go ahead, roll me that insight. Okay, let me roll something in the back. Right, so with this guy, like, he's actually like surprisingly readable. His face is very expressive. You can tell that he's kind of like more. Yeah, he's kind of in the business of being honest here, and you can tell that he probably doesn't quite care what really happens to you as a result of this. You can tell he's very much like throwing you to the wolves, so to speak. But hey, if you want it, he's willing to give it.
Okay.
And
So
kind of says, well, what do you think? I can tell you where to go tonight, actually.
Tonight, you said. Alright. Now, just cause I'm a old country boy. Yeah, just cause I'm a country boy, don't mean I don't know what I'm handling.
Is my mic better now, by the way?
Yeah, it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it took me a while to realize like what was happening. But sorry.
I mean, it kind of worked because we in a bar anyway, so
Yeah, we got a
like
sepia tone.
Like, so anyway, just cause I'm a country boy, don't mean I don't know my way into scrapes a bit. But I'll see what. I'll take you up on that offer.
All right. Well, boy, give me another napkin. No, not the oblong one. Give me the other one. As he like takes a pen and starts like writing it down, and he kind of like slips it to you on the napkin. Basically gives you like coordinates. Well, less coordinates, more just like like the address of what's it called? Basically, like a set of Manhattan dockyards at late at night. Like it tells you the time and let me check when that is. So yeah, that's 11 p.m. 11 p.m. at the docks. Coming over. "11 p.m. at the docks, coming over the chain link fence and rattle the chains by the old ship."
Jay kind of nods.
Yeah. Didn't hear from me, but the boss is quite active and has been for a while now. So you might get a taste of him. You might be in for more than you can chew, so to speak. But hey, who am I to hold down someone who seems to know what they're doing?
Thank you kindly, your boys. Enjoy your drinks.
Enjoy your night walk.
And Jay heads on out. Same confidence. When he goes out the door, he dusts off his hat, puts it on.
Yeah.
And Jay internally is like, okay, so we gotta sit down. Okay, that was
Kind of
honestly, he's both as stressful and not too bad as I thought.
Yeah, you kind of like hear in your mind like, Jay, those people seemed a lot nicer than I was expecting from those movies you showed us.
Yeah, they old school. They act like old school gangsters. They're a little bit more cordial than some of the movies portray, but if you get on the bad side, well, you'll see how close the movies did get. Oh boy. So tonight, 11 o'clock, we going down to the docks. Wait a second. Yeah. So Jay, when he goes back to the hotel, he kind of makes sure he doesn't take the same route he did to make sure he ain't being followed.
Yeah.
And going back, he kind of like goes back, locks the door, double checks everything. Okay. So, alright, Caster, we are on a mission. We just got a sit down with the mob, and we gotta make. So our plan is in action. We actually get to meet the boss. Now, if they mean the boss or Little Miss Gangster, that's to be determined. But assuming it's Big Boss, we probably gotta keep things a little bit smooth. And Jay kind of letting the folks know Katya, Leon, hey, we gotta sit down 11 o'clock at the docks. Be there, be square.
You're sending a chat. You're sending a message in the middle of a chat where Leon is freaking out about the fucking museums.
Like Jay like sends like we're having a sit down, and like he just like stops and like scrolls up. He's like, what the fuck? This is just the this is just the oblong conversation again.
So yeah, and Jay kind of looks and is like, okay, so, okay, so, there's the possibility of a servant. Yeah, cause from the report old dude gave us, there are an archer is here, supposedly. So, if they're supposed to be mage hunter mobsters. So, probably not a good idea to show for you to pop up. Wait, can you sense each other when you're in spirit form?
Caster will say, yeah, pretty much. There's a way we can hide ourselves. We can actively try to suppress our energy, but, well, that's a bit risky. Also, as a caster myself, I actually have certain advantages when it comes to detecting servants. So, if we're ever in trouble, let's say, in an estimated, let's see, in an estimated 5-mile radius, I'll be able to tell you where any servants might be hiding out.
Okay, so 5 miles. I can at least run like a good 20-something minutes.
I mean, you don't have to run, Jay. That's what I'm here for. I'll just, pick you up.
Well, yeah, granted, but still. Okay, so Jay kind of going into the bag. He's gonna do some shenaniganry with loading up the shotgun. He's going with an old Vietnam War tactic. First shell is slug, buckshot, slug, buckshot. So, hey, if things pop off, whoever the most important target, blast them first.
Yep.
And then if they start running, we spray and pray at least. And okay, so it's gonna be a sit down, so might not need the old barrel gun, cause that's gonna be a little bit. Carrying this one was a little bit hefty than the shotgun. Was a little bit heftier than the shotgun. I will admit, cause However, be that as it may, we gonna have to be being mobsters, and with this plan to succeed, we gotta play the part. We did it decently with those guys, with the muscle, but in order for this to work, we gotta play our cards right. We don't show no weakness. And okay, so we know they mage hunters. So the plan is, with Ivan being our quote unquote hostage, have our little peace offering, and if they say something like, "Oh, if you want to be a part of us, gotta murk this mage," Ivan can just easily turn into sludge.
Yeah, yup.
And that will give us. We can at least get in with a decent conversation, because depending on how this guy is, we might not know. And Jay, he thinks about it like in his head. Caster sees like two instances. One is friggin' Al Capone from the friggin' Untouchables. The scene where he's like, I want him dead. I don't get. I want his wife dead. I want his family dead. I want his dog dead. Slamming the bat across a dude's face. Or Don. Or the Don from Bronx Tale. This decent dude who's kind of like shaking hands with folks, but piss him off. He might rough you up a bit. Okay, so we don't know how the boss is, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So
I hate you, 40.
Makes me have a good question about this place. How are the ley lines compared to the city?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me check real quick, actually. Because I do have like a map set out, for
That depends on my second plan.
yeah. So let me just check. What's it called? So what you do see, actually.
Hey,
Yeah.
not to be unfair or anything, but like, does Marvin have to roll for this or no?
What's it called?
I mean, seeing his
Yeah,
complete
it's-
studies to all the wars and
Yeah, like
Okay,
I
fair
feel
enough.
Yeah, like in terms of ley line like knowledge, I would say that the mages probably just like Marvin, Ivan. Yeah, probably just Marvin and Ivan. Probably just know. Like it's not like it's like hidden knowledge or anything, and I feel like knowledge of where ley lines are should probably be like common knowledge for mages.
I do think like I do think like general ideas of where they pass through would be good, but like exact points might be difficult.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Are you trying to determine exact points?
not necessarily just if they run through the city, because
Yeah.
you told us that there were rogue servants loose.
Yes.
So if Marvin is seen as a hunter, mage hunter, he would know at least about probably the Guild War, and by that extent can always laugh off Clears as a rogue servant working
Yeah.
with.
You could, yeah, and I will say, you do know that there is like a pretty non-powerful ley line, a very faint one, that does actually go through Manhattan. It's fading, but it's still there.
Yeah.
You can like
Alright.
so yeah, like it could potentially support a rogue servant.
Plan B is successful.
But with you, Marvin, actually, I'll say that we are going to your plan was to just kind of like get to the comic book store early, wasn't it?
Well, yes, because Barrel Good said he has a lot of information, so he could probably point me to where I want to go.
Yeah, exactly. As you kind of like walk through like this very inconspicuous looking comic store, you kind of come in, you hear like the doorbell chime. you see it's relatively empty, but quite spacious, with like seemingly a like a second floor as well as like a basement area. You kind of like see kind of like on the main like top comics, just a lot of Thor comics. And you actually see like a big sort of like cardboard cutout like diorama of like Thor like swinging his hammer back and forth as you enter the Odin Force comic store. As you see a woman kind of like in her 40s, kind of just chatting kind of normally with Beryl Good. And just kind of, Beryl just kind of like talking, like, yeah, so that hot dog guy was really annoying, but you know what they say about non-mages, don't touch them, don't go anywhere near them. Took a lot of effort from me to not poison that thing. Oh! Well. Kind of like turning around, both of them like look at you as you pass through the door. Well. You're finally here! It didn't realize you'd take this long. Oh well, you know me, I know you. Let's get the show on the road, shall we? Where are the rest of the masters?
If you remember correctly, we hadn't planned our date for another 4 hours.
Kind of like raises an eyebrow and says, well, I suppose if that was the plan, that was the plan. Come. We'll talk in the back.
Right.
And as you kind of like go in, like this woman kind of like stares at you, and Beryl says, "Oh, my apologies. This lovely lady here is Michaela Levinson, the daughter of the person who owns this comic book store, who's currently out right now." The woman just kind of like, nods at you and kind of like says, "Good to meet you."
Yeah. Name's Marvin. And likewise.
Just kind of like, nods again and says, just don't mess up the merchandise and keep the back as clean as you can.
I mean, to be honest, if anything, I would buy some later, but I need to look for that.
And he leads you to the glorious back room of the bookstore.
The back rooms?
Yes.
As, where'd you come in from?
Where do I come in from?
You will come in from... Give me a moment. Yeah, over there.
Top or bottom?
Top. Katya pinged it. But yeah.
Interesting entry point to just go in to the washroom, I guess.
What's it called? Kind of like, make yourself at home. There's a couch over there. You'll probably want to sit down for this. How's your trip?
Great, actually, so far, but let's be honest, do you really care?
Kind of like turns around to you. I'm genuinely hurt. Of course I care. You're people that Krishtaria sent, so I want you to be as comfortable as possible, and I'm here to make the trip as easy as possible for you.
Great. Can you start with what info you have on me?
Raises an eyebrow. What do you mean?
I mean, you surely know more, seeing that you have at least a folder of us masters.
Well, yes, but that's more for me to know than you. It's just all boring profile stuff. who you are, where you're from, what your job is, what your magic circuits are like. It's all just technical stuff.
My nickname?
Kind of raises an eyebrow.
Just asking. Do you know my nickname?
I suppose you can enlighten me.
May I make an insight check?
Go ahead.
Damn.
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 Let me see. Yeah, you can't read this guy. He already seems like the type of person who you can't read, but yeah, now that you're even trying, like, yeah, this guy is, at the very least, an extremely experienced liar. You're not sure if he's lying now, but yeah.
Listen, I came so that you can point me into a direction of another job.
Another job, like ceiling designations, that sort of thing.
Sorry, Jericho, could you repeat that?
Another job, like ceiling designations or that sort of thing.
You know my job, right?
Yes, I do. Well, I'll tell you, Manhattan tends to be a hotbed for mages who don't like being part of the association. And, well, they don't like to come out at day. But, you know, they do call it the Moonlit World for a reason. I can show you a very good nightclub where mages proliferate. You could probably get some good bounties there.
That would be great.
What's it called? He'll kind of like smile and like clap his hand and says, "Great! We'll go there once night falls." I'm not gonna tell you the address, but it's just kind of well, you know, it's just kind of like the rules, right? You don't give away the address of this top secret club.
What, you also want to blindfold me while we're going there?
Ooh, that would be very fun. if you're offering.
No, I wasn't.
Well, that's fine. I can just take you there. But, it'll be up to you to remember your way back.
I find my way.
Yo,
So,
sorry
and-
about that. Oh, sorry. My internet kind of fucked itself, so I missed like half that conversation.
Oh, just general talk to dudes trying to say nothing and say everything in the same time. So, in that case, I will pick a room, work on something for the next few hours, and wait till the rest arrives.
Hey, what's it called? I was gonna say this earlier. Ceiling designations are kind of just a fucking enforcer's entire deal. Like, the entire point of enforcer is just to fucking exist. And whenever there's a magus who gets a ceiling designation, they just go and hunt them down. That's their main source of profit.
I know, but I presume Beryl has enough info on Marvin to know that Marvin does more than just enforce.
Yeah. But,
So, yeah.
Beryl will say, well, if you want to make yourself at home, go ahead. I'm not renting this place out, you guys are. Or do you want me to show you where it is now and, well, just walk back with me and then we can do the whole briefing.
It seems dumb to walk up, down, waste a few hours doing nothing.
Well, you came here very early, so...
I know. In worst case scenario, I can work 4 hours. Which, that's the plan now. So, point to a room that is rented. If I need to pay rent, I'd rather work outside in some alley.
Kind of, shrugs and says, "Oh well, I'm going to go back upstairs and continue talking to Michaela. The rooms are there and there," and, kind of, like, knocks his, hand on, like, this desk. "This is the, mini workshop that they have for you."
Right.
As he kind of, like, starts to walk back, up past you, kind of calls back and says, "By the way, if the toilet doesn't flush, just kick it."
At least it works somehow.
What? Hey, remember, if you have water mage craft, you could just force it. I hate myself.
So yeah, 4 hours work.
4 hours work on the on crafting?
Yes.
Yeah, in
I
that case,
presume Cleos can't help.
Cleos can't help. No, unfortunately
Yeah.
not. I think Cleos is just kind of like
Too
upstairs
bad.
looking at the comic books. But because you're using a workshop, you can add double the hours there. So 8
8.
hours. Yeah.
1 succeeds. Great.
And so that is phase 5. So phase 6, night is going to fall, as I will take you all to
The night map.
the
Moonlit
night map.
world.
Hey!
Wait, have I had my stage 5?
Have you had your stage 5?
Did Katya have their stage 5?
I believe your stage 5 was walking into the what was the park
The
called?
coffee shop.
The coffee shop park with Saber and doing a lot of research on your own on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
night.
that's what it was.
Yeah, I've done 2 things so far.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Whoops, wrong one.
Funky. Okay.
Yeah, wrong one. But welcome to phase 6. 8 p.m. to 4 p.m. What? Why is it? It's multiplied for some reason. Hold on. No, never mind. It's fine. Okay.
Wait, I swear that, didn't we start our day at 8 a.m.?
No. Well,
Mm,
you.
yes.
Yeah, you did, but you spent a considerable amount of time just getting there, so you only had phase 4 and phase 5.
Yes.
Wait,
Okay, you made it
Wait.
sound as if we had, like, three stages before meeting Barrel.
No.
Yeah, no.
This is
Hold-
technically the barrel phase.
hold up. Wait, 8 p.m. What? Wait, what?
I'm bad
Wait,
at
is
math.
time
Give me
going
a-
backwards?
Yes.
I think
Don't you
we-
mean 12? 12
Yeah, I know.
a.m.?
I'm correcting it.
Yeah, there we go. Well, shit, says Katya.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're
I thought I had four more hours than I actually had, so all of my plans are fucked.
what's it called?
I
will
mean-
say that in turn, like, I will say that the comic store is relatively close to. Well, like, you can get to the dockyards relatively quickly. So basically, going to the comic store to talk to Beryl is not going to be your phase 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I
Yeah.
presumed was we just stick our heads in, listen for a few minutes, and then do the whole face thing.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine then.
yeah. So
Because
gonna
I
just-
know Barrel can talk, but I hope not for 4 hours.
as I'll bring you all. Well, yeah, like just back to the bookstore.
I think
As,
Ivan would not be there. For
Oh yeah,
he's
yeah,
off to see the priest.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair.
Jay is taking a nap, so he can be fresh for going to the mob to the sit down.
Yeah. So
So he'd let the party know, hey, fill me in on what goes down. I'm gonna call a car to have a sit. Oh wait, no, it's 11 p.m. right?
yeah.
8, 9, 10.
So this will be phase 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, because like I thought, like
You got
I thought
power
in my
now.
head it was like, I thought in my head it was like, oh, we won't. Oh, the mobsters are having to sit down like immediately right after. No. So yeah. You gonna-
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
What I'm gonna do then is, I'm gonna stay around for an hour. After an hour, I'm going to leave early. Like, I want to get to the dockyard before 11 p.m., like 10 p.m. or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's fine. That's doable.
So you
alright.
bump into Jay, who's scoping out the place,
But
making
Yeah,
sure he
so-
ain't getting jumped.
Yep.
so Leon and Katya, you would have entered the comic book store kind of without much incident. You would have seen like the lady at the front. You wouldn't have actually seen Beryl, but she would have like led you down back to the back rooms where you can see Marvin basically working on something. And Cleo's kind of standing guard.
Damn, you live like this. Hello. Yes. I see you've made yourself at home over here, Marvin.
You take what you can get.
Well, I mean, considering we were dealing with that barrel good person, I was expecting a literal crack house. But, you know, this is significantly better.
You know, I shouldn't lie. It wouldn't surprise me if this place would do double hours. But where is Beryl?
Didn't you see him?
Yeah, last time I saw him, he walked through that door. So
as you know, kind of like slightly on cue, kind of walks back in, kind of like, you know, shoving it, like, you know, like wiping his hands on his pants and like kind of going over to like a towel and just like wiping something. Says,
Speak of the devil.
sorry, I'm a bit late, everyone. Wow, you're all really taking your sweet time, huh? Only 2 of you.
Jay is busy, Ivan is busy.
But actually, no, I guess he would actually say only 3 of you, because he doesn't know Saber's not a master. But yeah, go on.
What's it called? Jay is busy, Ivan is busy. They might not be here for a while, but we can relay whatever info we need to them.
Well, if you're sure you're able to do that, then that's fine. Well, kind of like he kind of like takes like a remote up and like, you know, just kind of like turns on like the TV. And he he presents to you a PowerPoint presentation that he's made.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get this show on the road. Is everyone comfortable? Everyone sees the screen all right?
Mostly.
What's it called? Leon just kinda gives like a thumbs up.
Well,
Marvin would call the chair back to here.
kind of nods and says, "All right, well, let's start off with Alicia's gang, the big shots in Manhattan right now are the Cascadas, Mage Killer family. Not mages themselves, actually. Well, some of them do seem to practice. And, well, I'll tell you what, I've done quite a bit of digging on them. Alicia's gang, Alicia Cascada, kind of like clicks the presentation, as you will all see. You have seen her face before, but you will see like an image of her. A rather short woman in a very fancy sort of like, just like classic gangster attire. Long, kind of untamed, very fluffy, sort of teal-ish hair. Kind of says so this is Alicia Cascada. She's the daughter of one Alphonse Roberto Cascata and one Mirabel Viola Cascata. I'll write those down.
You should have named one of them Edward.
She looks like she might have custom artwork done in a game for her.
And says she and her gang, well, the entire Cascada family, were based in Upper Manhattan. But, well, I've got it on good information that they've been practicing. All this bank robbery nonsense has been test runs to get her gang all ready for the big game. The Federal Reserve Bank, aka one of the hardest banks to break into in the world. Yes, you heard it right, folks. They're doing it entirely for the bragging rights and the thrill of it.
I relate.
But... Oh, I say?
He said I relate.
Yeah. Kind of says, they're not going for it yet. They still have to build up their repertoire of bank heist-related skills, I suppose. But I do know that they're going to be hitting a bank tomorrow at 12 p.m. I also know that Alicia kind of doesn't have complete autonomy. Namely, she's not allowed near the dockyards where her mom and dad work. But there are also a few no-go zones that she has to oblige by. They call her the princess of the mob. She's quite coddled, but she also does what she's told, within reason. What reason is to mobsters, I'm not entirely sure. But, any questions?
Yes, you said places she isn't allowed to go.
That's right. Mostly just, I guess rule of thumb is just stay out of warehouses and, meetups and bars, and just basically do your own thing. Don't interfere with mom and pop's, family business.
Okay. Do we know for a fact if the parents are like involved in all this shebang, or?
Well, that I'm not entirely sure of. See, it's quite hard to get dirt on the top brass and his wife. But as far as I can tell, they haven't made any moves that would indicate that they are part of the Holy Grail War.
Alicia seems to be financing and building up her army all by herself. They grow up so fast, don't they?
Kind of side eyes. Well, Red looks over to like Marvin and Katya. Kind of like raising an eyebrow. With an expression that kind of tells that, you know, something doesn't quite line up.
And kind of starts like clicking on his presentation. And here are the members of Alicia's gang. Yeah, like first shows you a pretty boy, basically. Messy white hair, black gloves, red eyes. Wears a black turtleneck over and a black blazer over. This is Sylvester Silver Ferlito. This fellow is Rex the Wrecker Vadala, as he shows you a much larger, sort of burly, scarred face, but with a sort of gentlemanly look. Short white hair, and, well, just kind of a standard business suit, though he seems to not wear a tie. We have Sebastian Oriental Talerita, as shows you a man with white hair, fur coat, it's a very stern look, tied up in a ponytail.
You know, I'm starting to believe there's a pattern here.
Mikey, all smiles, Malgary.
You know, I didn't want to say it.
As you see a young man in his 20s, maybe, pinstripe suit with a sort of like those big like transparent raincoats, as well as like like kind of like a Walkman in him with a short-cut, messy white hair. Beryl kind of like looks at all of you, looks back at the presentation, looks back at all of you. I don't know why all of their hair is white. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there.
Runs in the family, I guess.
I think Escada has a knack for just drawing people with white hair. Question mark. I'm not entirely sure if that's natural hair color though.
Well, beats
pretty
me.
sure it's not.
But basically, these are the guys to look out for. I think they usually wear don't wear masks or conceal their identity. They're kind of like Wild West outlaws in that sense. I know one of them's a sniper, one of them uses his fists, one of them uses a shotgun, and the other one, I think, might be a mage.
You know, I think I can kind of tell which one's which based on how they look. But
I take your guesses. I like to bet on it.
well, I think someone called the Wrecker probably uses his fists. Question mark. But beyond that, that's not really the point at the moment. So, how do these guys picture in all of this? Like you said, that's like her crew, right? But are they, like some form of bodyguard detail assigned to her, or are they just around her? They're her lieutenants in different points of the city.
That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure if they take orders from her or if they were assigned to her by her ma and pa. I do know that these four guys are seen with her basically at all times. Not suspicious at all.
Including the bank raids, I'm assuming?
Including the bank raids, yes.
Alright, gotcha.
Kind of, clicks off, the presentation and says, and finally, drum roll please!
I do a little drum roll on my legs.
Thank you, Wasilewska. You kind of see it's kind of a blurry photo, but well, blurry by the standards of like an iPhone. Like this is still like a good photo. But you see it's like dark, seemingly like in a theater. You see like the tops of the heads of like a bunch of people, but you also see the camera is very focused on someone in the nosebleeds of the theater, on the upper seats. A young man wearing very much just like a hoodie, and like a sort of like a choker, very very young looking man, like maybe like 19, 20, around those, with black hair with distinct sort of like half green, half purple highlights. As you see him like kind of like sort of like like how like a kid will like kind of like really excitedly like lean over a banister to just like get a better look at like something, presumably the show. It's a picture that the barrel's taken and says, "This is the elusive heir to the Kagamine mage family, Itsuki Kagamine."
How did this bastard specifically find him?
I was trying to track down any sort of magical signatures, and well, the kids signed up to a theater class, and people just kind of talk about how he's a weird person and they don't understand what he means by Alaya. So, kind of bad at hiding himself. Seems to be a big fan of musicals. He's at Broadway every night.
Out of character, Jericho. A little bit on the nose that we theorize that this person might be trans and they're a theater kid.
Yeah, like, you couldn't be more obvious. You couldn't be more obvious.
For shame. For shame.
I halfway was gonna laugh, and friggin' Beryl took a picture of Jay in his Frank Lucas disguise.
Yeah. Also, this
Jack
fucker's
Lucas
back
disguise.
in town.
Jack Lucas disguise, and then friggin' thought, oh yeah, this guy was seen talking with some goons.
Actually, yeah, no, what's it called? No. You know what? No, Beryl does kind of like click and says, and something very recent. I saw this person. They go by Mr. Lucas. Does that sound familiar to any of you?
Dun dun dun! Jay has told y'all, hey, Jack Lucas is alias right now. Don't let folks in the mob. Hey, we gotta sit down with the mob.
Not at all, show.
Well, if you don't know, there was this mobster who died a few years ago. Frank Lucas, American drug lord, a legendary gangster who I believe has probably been summoned as a rogue servant. I'm not sure what class yet, but I've seen him hanging around Alicia's forces.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
He thinks Jay is a servant.
He clicks on like another blurry picture of like kind of like his side profile at like the bar.
Must have gone at like fucking light speed, taking all these pictures across the different points of the city.
Now I'm just realizing how I think all the fucking factions are like, hey, look out for this man. Has like a photo of Beryl with his iPhone out, taking random photos of random fucks.
Like, here's the thing.
People just probably think he's a tourist. Like,
yeah. Like, here's the thing. Jay did his makeup pretty decently, unless you kind of. It's hard to tell because he got a haircut. He has a scar. he didn't. He put on the suit a little bit after when he went to the mobsters. So he was just in the like jacket. You would recognize the overcoat at least in the hat.
In looks, it would be hard because it's a side picture. It's blurry, but the name they want us for the name.
Yeah. Actually, no, he wouldn't be wearing his hat because he took it off in the restaurant. So yeah, you just see the overcoat, which is probably like the only telltale.
But yeah, and Beryl kind of like, clicks the PowerPoint again, and you see in big Comic Sans, and like just kind of flashbang because the room is dark. You get flashbang by like white background, black text in Comic Sans. The end.
I love that freaking Beryl thinks Jay is a servant. just
and now
shenaniganry.
That's all the information that I have for you on this current Holy Grail War. I will continue to scope it out. Me and my man will make sure to get you all the latest updates. So, any questions at the end of that?
The information I'd want you to look for is where they're planning on raiding the bank tomorrow.
Well, we know at the very least it'll be in the financial district. I'll be able to hack into the police scanners and keep you updated as quickly as possible.
How does this fucker not know how to do a PowerPoint ending properly, yet still somehow knows how to hack into the goddamn police cameras?
Oh, he knows.
I don't really do PowerPoint.
He knows.
Yeah, no,
he just does it to spite.
Yeah.
Just like Jericho in Roll20. But Marvin would ask, so just to be sure, Itsuki Kagami is in the... God, I forgot the name of the place.
The Broadway?
Yeah, the Broadway, every night, right?
Every single night he's at one of the shows. It's you'd think that the kid would like have watched all the shows by now.
And
as far as I can tell, he's been here for 2 months. So much longer before the Grail system actually happened.
Oh, I know. But
outside of Broadway in the night, you should be able to find him at this theater class, as he basically hands you an intro course, open attendance theater class for all skill levels, playwriting and acting.
Improv group.
I'm gonna say this right now. Imagine if we fucking try to ambush this guy in a theater and knock from the booth from the presidential booth, Abraham Lincoln.
yeah, no, he's playing on stage and we're all doing as if it is just one big play.
Do they do any King Arthur plays?
Wait.
Saber could blend in.
No,
I know I don't say
Wait. If it's the 18th right now, and he was at Broadway, he was watching Haiti. He's watching Hades Town right now.
Wait.
December.
Is it the 18th or the 20th?
It's the
18th to the 22nd.
Yeah,
that's when Hades Town was in.
Right now it is the 21st.
So yeah, he'd catch the 2 to 7 o'clock show.
Yeah.
Leon will kind of think for a moment before he speaks up and says, so, well, the way you made that presentation sound, it sounds like Kagamine might be easier to approach. But, well, it's probably not that easy, of course.
Well, as far as I can tell, the kid's still closed off. Doesn't seem to have that many friends. I did spy him, up in the theater seats alone, so...
well,
Either very easy to approach or impossible.
or constantly has their servant in spirit form at 24/7.
Yeah, and don't forget, it's always in a open space with a lot of witnesses.
Don't forget, if this person is potentially allied with Cascada, then at the very least, I don't know, if I was in Cascada's position, I would assign some of my own security detail to this person as well. So we also
You
have
think
to look
everyone
out
of
for
the
that.
theatre classes in the mob?
What do you say?
Yes, the whole Broadway.
Yeah, Katya said, "Do you think everyone in the theater class is like part of the mob?"
Considering what we heard of him, I wouldn't entirely be surprised. But let's not jump into conclusions just yet. I think for now, what we can do is follow that particular advice to not mess with the Cascada higher-ups when we want to drag more people in this that that there already is. So
Meanwhile, Jay is going to have a sit down.
So avoid
Yeah,
the docks
and the
at all
dogs.
Actually, did Jay specify like, "Hey guys, I'm going to the docks tonight"?
Yeah, he did.
No, he said he's got to sit down with the Cascada family. He's going to call a driver to take us.
I thought you said the dogs, that's why we could meet you there if we wanted.
No, he just said he's gonna meet him.
Hey, Jericho, I just gotta ask, like, since Jay's already doing his shit, like, I think during the last block, the last phase, Ivan had like 1 hour left before he was like moving off to like meet with with the priest.
Yeah.
East. So would he have arrived by about the time that the phase would have started?
Well, Ivan, you're going to we're gonna go do your thing after.
Yeah, the personal things.
No. I'm just asking. Like, is this is that meeting going to take up the entirety of his phase?
No, it's not.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, Jericho already said you could technically go here and still do your whole phase if you wanted.
Neat.
Marvin will send in the group chats because, like I said, he's been taking pictures.
Barrel's
PowerPoint
taking
slides.
pictures.
No, he will send like, here's a picture of Elisa Cascada.
Mm-hmm.
Here is her first harem.
I'm pretty sure one of those people is like way older than her, so let's not call it like that, please.
Sorry, I needed to make the. Oh damn! I didn't know. Shit. Sorry.
Marvin, no.
I didn't know.
Thinking about it, since I still have like a Nokia brick, what I probably would have
pictures.
I have on a Nokia brick.
It'd be grainy as shiz.
You do get the pictures, but they like take like 10 minutes to load.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Every time.
You know how I have a mage hand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna use some mage hand to just like sketch all of the faces whilst I'm just, chatting with everyone.
In that case, rephrase it for a moment. Here is Alicia Cascada. These are the people with her. The ways they fight. She is not allowed around the docks, warehouses, or bars. And as far as we know, her parents, sent the names and faces, are in...
You don't have their faces, but...
no faces, but yeah, the names are in power in those places. So try to avoid them, because for as far as we know, they're not in the Holy Grail War yet. Then, since that off, all information on KitsuneHarmony is the picture and the locations he's at every night. So that's what everyone gets.
Yeah.
Does friggin' Marvin send the blurry photo op of Mr. Lucas?
Well,
Yeah,
yes, actually.
possible rogue servant.
No, at the end, because Jay said his undercover name, right?
Yeah, he said his undercover name
Yeah.
back in London.
So Marvin would then send the picture, but with the subtext, and Beryl thought there was a rogue servant on the loose. This is the nickname. This is the name. Very funny how it's similar, isn't it? And then a few laughing emotions.
Yeah, I think when Jay wakes up from his power nap, he sees the info that they got, and looking at it was like, wait, how do you get to the bar?
I think that Ivan would just send give me a second. Can't. Why the hell is this lagging so hard?
Yeah, Jay wouldn't text in the group chat right now. He's just like friggin' laughing. Beryl thinks he's a servant.
Ivan sends that.
But yeah. So Beryl will just kind of like ask, so are you gonna all go off on your little adventures again and leave dear old Beryl behind?
No, we had that place we needed to go to.
Yep, I'll be off. See ya.
Katya leaves. Saber
Well-
also leaves right after.
I do like
Till
shooting the guns at Barrow as I'm just like walking backwards out of the door.
Till next time, later.
Katya's real slick
See ya.
about it.
Still, what time would it be at this moment?
I would say it's still like 8 p.m. Like,
Yeah.
Still a bit some time before we have to meet in the other place. Kind of looks over at Marvin. What are you gonna be doing until then?
Working.
On.
My job?
So bounty hunting. Gotcha. Well, I don't
Yeah.
have many places I need to be going at the moment besides the other place. And I don't really want to be left alone here with Beryl, no offense. So
no,
I mean-
I'm going with him.
Yeah, I'm taking Beryl with me. Don't worry.
okay. Thank you. In that case,
Yeah, Marvin mouths as Beryl looks at Leon like, no problem.
in that case, damn, I might be able to squeeze in just a couple of extra hours of work in this. But I don't want to be late in, for other business. Damn, where the fuck did I write down my my time spent on the thing? Whatever the fuck.
You know, this place, Marvin goes over the workbench, is pretty decent.
Sure. I'll stay here, squeeze in a couple more hours of work, and then I'll be right there, ready for our other business.
Okay.
Help me as a player, remember. Which promise that we have again?
To meet up with Jay at the fucking thing.
Yeah,
But-
Jay was gonna hire a driver, meet up
Yeah, wait,
at
no,
a certain
you,
point.
you don't know where Jay's going.
Yeah, we
okay.
don't know his location. You just so
Jay's gonna send you a location where we gonna meet, because he's gonna hire a driver, so it don't look suspicious, and if folks are
Okay.
watching him.
And I presume Jay will, when he wakes up, read, "Don't go near the dogs."
Meanwhile, he's going to the when it hits 10 o'clock, he's going to the docks to look around a little bit. Oh boy.
What
Oh, yeah.
happened? What was that noise?
That was me yawning.
Everybody split up.
And look for clues.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you?
I'm going. So, meanwhile, Ivan, you're headed straight for the cool church. To meet up with the contact that Jean Antonio told you to meet. Give me a quick
who
second. Oh yeah.
I, as a player, cannot remember the name of, but Ivan would.
Yup.
St. Lucius.
No. That's a different church.
Hmm.
You are going to meet with Father Dorian.
Father Dorian, easy to remember. Thank goodness, because I suck at names.
As you I'm going to just set up this page first. Give me a moment because I forgot to.
I apologize.
I mean, why are you apologizing?
I don't fucking know.
While
I apologize
you
for
were
everything.
setting this up, I had a question on how Ivan's ability work. Because we're setting him as a trap. But
Mhm.
as soon as they shoot us, we cannot go through with it because a shot from a gun doesn't turn a person into a puddle.
Here's the thing. Jay has a friggin' modified shotgun, and he's got some heavy rounds that can friggin' spaghettify peoples.
Yes, but that's why I ask how specifically the ability works Nathan has, because if he can only transform into puddle or fool, nothing in between.
I think that's gonna be something for Jericho's very specifically, because here's the thing, we were going to add it as a feature, but then completely fucking forgot about it.
Sorry, I was drinking water.
Like, if it's like the plasmoid thing, he could just make part of his body just goop.
Yeah, like I'll when the time comes, I'll tell you.
Maybe a
How it
performance
works.
check.
Okay.
Also, friggin' Jay would probably say like, "Hey, he played up like, hey, I got some. I
Is that
got
a
some
fucking 20?
bullets. Dag. With Dag. whoever's rolled that nat 20.
Yeah, whoever did like a
SOL.
sick ass backflip, I don't know.
Like, but yeah, like I was saying, Jay could always talk it up as like, hey, he knows that these guys were hunting mages. He got his hand. He had his hand on a bullet from some dude that said he was like an enforcer or some shiz that would liquefy mages. He only had the
That is-
one.
But yes, that'd be really funny. But yeah, so as you Ivan, as you make your way through the New York streets, and it gets very much like just darker. You enter essentially just a resplendent looking church. These churches are very different to the Orthodox churches that you see, in Russia. Very different to the church, like just kind of like the normal kind of Anglican looking churches in the UK. This one is gigantic. It's mostly empty, with a like a golden-haired old man in robes just kind of tending to the altar. As you kind of walk in, and your footsteps echo throughout the cathedral, the man kind of like, kind of startles as he kind of like turns his head around. Oh, my apologies. We don't often get visitors at this time of the night.
Ivan would just pause for a second. Firstly, he would be thinking, because firstly he would be thinking, like internally, I really hope this thing doesn't stand up and turns out to be an Imperator Titan. Secondly, he would think, how do I approach this? It is like he's like okay. Internally, he's like, I could just be direct and say, hey, Giantonio sent me, and then and it would be awkward if the guy responded with, oh, who's Giantonio? And I was just like really overcomplicating this in his head. And, so he's just standing there, just like,
Is something wrong, my son? Come closer.
Ivan does the thing that like really nervous kids do in like a situation where they don't know what to do and they call their parents. He calls their...
Wait, what?
Mike died.
Yeah, what happened?
Sorry, I was laughing too fucking hard and I don't think it registered as speech for some fucking reason. He calls Antonio and he's just like, like when when kids like don't fucking know what to do when they're like they call their parents and
you call Antonio, it doesn't pick up, and you see through text. Didn't you say we'd be talking through text from now on?
Ivan says through text, I don't know what to say. Help me.
You just kind of see back. Just ask him for help.
What do I say? Ivan's just like, just full on like, Ivan has just is failed as a person.
And by now, you've not been noticing, despite it being like a very large, very empty church. Father Dorian is now like in front of you and like places a hand on your shoulder, like, young man, are you all right?
He just like fucking melts. Like he actually just melts
into the puddle.
Yeah.
Kind of he actually like startles back, like, dear
Ivan
gods,
just like, look,
what happened?
I think he would see like the little like Ahoge like poke out of the puddle of blood. He was just like hear a tiny.
You like when somebody erupts into blood, his first thought isn't, oh yeah, just Krov Magecraft. His first thought is dead apostle. You kind of like see him kind of duck, like just with like feline grace, duck underneath the altar. You hear a click as you see him like attach an ashlock to his hand, a device that kind of works as a gauntlet, and as he clenches his fists, 3 blades, black keys, kind of like strike out as he seems to be taking cover behind the altar.
Ivan would like yell from the puddle, I'm sorry, I'm just please don't hurt me. Antonio sent me.
Kind of looks over the altar. You can still kind of see like the black keys glinting in the background. Kind of says, if you know the name Gian Antonio, then stand up on your own 2 feet.
Ivan would like slowly begin to reform, just like hands up in the air, like in surrender.
As you see him launch 3 keys that sort of like pin you, like specifically attack your clothing, hitting you right against the church doors. As he kind of like walks up to you and loads in another 3 black keys on his ashlock. As he kind of says, like kind of like points the blades at like your throat. Narrows his eyes and kind of like taps the side of your neck with one of the black keys. As
is it the scar side or the scar side without the scar?
It's the scar side.
Oh. I don't think Ivan would react, but he would. Well, not he wouldn't. I don't think there's like an averse reaction to the touch of it, but I think he would definitely like, sort of be a little bit fearful because it's a fucking sword at his throat.
Yeah. Kind of says, fine. You're not reacting to the black keys. Shink! He kind of like pulls like one by one the black keys out, and they kind of like puts them back in this robe, kind of like dusts himself off, turns his back to you towards the altar, and just kind of starts walking back and says, "You have a very disgusting form of magecraft, if you don't mind my saying, boy."
Ivan like sort of scratches the back of his head and says, "Well, the Krov family has been told that a few times, though my variation is even unique even for us."
What have you come here for, mage?
Ivan like pauses for a second and says, "Jean Antonio who sent me here to be appointed me here to meet with you as a point of contact. Have you heard news of the Holy Grail War that's been waging in?"
Kind of raises an eyebrow rather. Kind of like looks over his shoulder as he's still like kind of walking towards the altar, and he's just kind of says, "Yes, I did hear Gian Antonio blithering about it. Is it true that they're starting a new one after the last one was dismantled?"
Yes. Ivan just like it says,
Yeah.
We don't know the exact processes that resulted in its creation, and this one is on a worldwide scale for some reason, which makes no sense since the first required a Dreadnought class reactor or magic reactor to even function. Yeah, he wouldn't say goddamn sense. He would just say it makes no damn sense.
What's this? Spare me your blabbering about the specifics of magecraft. What do you know of it, and what do you need me for?
I am a mage who has been tasked with assisting in preventing this war from getting out of hand and being revealed to the general populace, as well as a contact from the church for this situation. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but with this new Grail War, we've got a slight issue. We've got an especially powerful dead apostle who's one of the masters. Ivan just like he purses his lips. The alias we know her by is Shemeka Alice Al-Kafaji, and she is both Giantonio and I had assumed that she was maybe about wait, what's the term again? Rank 5, tier 5?
Rank 5,
What?
yeah. It was rank.
Yeah, rank 5. Rank 5.
Kind of, nods and says, "So you mean to say that she's in Manhattan?"
There's a possibility. We don't know because there's another few locations around the world that she could possibly be. The church doesn't have apparently the church doesn't have much hold over the area of Manhattan, so they told me to get in contact with you just for any assistance if needed.
Roll a persuasion check.
I think Ivan would be telling like the absolute truth.
Of course,
I'm going to say
he's just suspicious of you because,
Ivan.
well, he just doesn't like mages. Like he's a priest. He doesn't like mages.
that is completely fair. Give me a second. My fucking roll 20 is being slow for some goddamn reason. Oh yay, the +0 to persuasion. Gotta
Yeah.
love this. I'm gonna roll absolute dog shit, aren't I?
Wait, aren't you a warlock?
Intelligence warlock.
Oh, intelligent warlock, okay.
I've got high
Oh,
charisma. than me.
Yippee! That is a 3!
Kind of like, you see him just kind of like, look at you with like sort of like a like ponder, like maybe he's thinking about it, but kind of turns back around and starts like wiping the altar again and says, "This church is a sanctuary that has also been designated as a point of refuge if any sort of mystery-related incidents were to threaten the populace. If it's a rank 5, I can deal with it myself. You need not worry. Continue on with whatever it is you're doing."
Ivan, like, pauses for a moment and nods, and he says, I also came to inquire about possible workings of dead apostles within the area.
What's it to you?
Ivan, like, pauses for a moment and just says, I'm sure you know what John Antonio does. The means in which I had met him were, Ivan pauses for a moment. I had been hunting dead apostles, and encountered him during his one of his what would he call it? Like missions?
Hunts, I guess.
Hunts. Yeah, during one of his hunts. I've been assisting him for a few years now. With him, I just.
So you're a lost puppy who calls himself a vampire hunter that John Antonio allowed to stay around him. It's typical of that man. Just run along, boy. The dead apostles here are no joke. But they're also dead apostles that I can deal with myself. I don't need your assistance. I don't need you getting in the way. Manhattan has a very fine ecosystem when it comes to this sort of thing. We don't need any foreign influences.
He just said, go back to your country.
Basically.
Ivan, like, internally just goes, well, was not expecting in-church racism. Ivan, like, immediately texts John Antonio, it's not going well.
You get the text back, what did you say?
Ivan's like,
question marks.
Ivan's like, I don't know.
But Yeah, this priest has kind of gone back to just like tending to his altar and just like, you know, he hasn't told you to leave, but you know, you can choose to press further or you could just get out.
Ivan would pause for a moment and just Ivan would say, you say you're able to deal with rank 5, but what if that rank 5 had a servant? Like a heroic spirit, it assisting them. That would make things a lot more difficult, wouldn't they? He's not like actually like accusing or anything.
Yeah, he's just
being,
like actually asking, yeah, like, and he kind of, you know, let me teach you a little something, amateur. Dead apostles and heroic spirits are intrinsically incompatible. They cannot exist next to each other, adjacent or otherwise. Do you know what a heroic spirit is?
Ivan would like immediately. You just go, yes, ghost line, enter a manifestation of a manifestation of a copy of a human in spirit. It drawn from the throne of heroes, usually meant to protect humanity. Just like immediately starts going into the fucking tirade.
Yes, to protect human order is what a heroic spirit is intended to do. A dead apostle is a being that fundamentally opposes human order. Even if a dead apostle were to summon a servant, that servant would have no qualms with ending their life there and then. In short, if your Shemeka Alice Al-Kafaji has summoned a servant, then rejoice. She is already most likely dead.
There's a sense of Ivan would feel relief first, but then also think, wait, that doesn't seem right. And then Ivan would like text this to like Gian Antonio. He's like, sorry, give me a moment. Just text like text the details the what's his name called? Father
Yeah. Father Dorian.
To Father Dorian to Gian Antonio and just be like,
What?
Something about this doesn't man up.
One thing, like, eventually you do get like a reply and says, what Father Dorian says does make sense. Why would a servant swear allegiance to a dead apostle?
Ivan
There is
tries.
There is every chance that Al-Kafaji hasn't summoned their servant yet. After all, I feel like if a dead apostle summoned a servant, we'd be having a lot more cover-up work on our hands.
Ivan pauses for a moment, thinks about it, and goes, wait, Al-Kafaji made the command seal system.
Huh?
Wait, did she?
Yes, she did. That is one thing you specifically learned, but you never told anyone that, really.
Yeah, Ivan would send that to Gian Antonio, but he would also pause and say, did Shemeka Alice Al-Kafaji, from what I've learned, design the command seal system for this war? It's quite possible that she might have given herself extras to keep a hold on her servant. This is more him just pondering and thinking like to himself, but he's saying it loud enough.
Yeah. John Antonio, like, kind of like, shows you like a ... Shit. Yeah. We'll keep looking. Regardless, I don't think she'll die. She would die that easily, even to a servant. That's what you get from text. But Father Dorian just kind of, you can kind of sense him getting kind of like frustrated, and he just goes, "Are you quite done here, boy? Or would you like to take a moment to actually kneel and absolve in front of the Lord?"
I think, okay, knowing that God is actually fucking real in the fate fucking setting, I think like with Ivan's like awareness of that sort of shit, I think he is like not like religious, but he does know that like God fucking exists. So
Yeah.
I think he would actually quietly sit at a pew for maybe a few minutes and start praying for a while.
Yeah. And as you do so, I'm going to take you all to a very different environment. As we don't have a I'm not set up a map for this, but we cut to, well, after kind of like just like winding paths and like, dark alleys, we slowly, like, Marvin, you are, even you who's like used to like navigating like urban areas, even you have kind of a hard time like keeping track of where you're actually being like sent.
In fact, my IRL navigation skills are good at tracking back.
Yeah. Which, thank God.
Yeah, I love walking into the forest and just take random paths.
That sounds
Okay,
like
Hansel and Gretel.
Now
Katya
everybody-
also likes doing that, but she's bad at backtracking.
and now everybody who's seen this live stream knows that too, so they want to just fucking kill you in the night when you're out there.
You heard it
They
here,
know.
folks. If you
Oh
want
yeah,
to
no,
kill Orion,
it's very easy. I love doing it at midnight as well. So
Wait, what about what now?
Keep doxing yourself.
Truly
wow,
amazing.
midnight a forest. That's certainly one place.
but you basically find yourself in a fucking rave.
Hey!
So many people, like so many bodies, like just kind of like, close in on each other. It's only been like 3 years since COVID. Like, it's horrific. But you don't see, like, you see like the traditional like nightclub goers, but you see a lot of them look very eccentric. By eccentric, I mean, yeah, you can tell this is a mage nightclub.
yeah.
As Beryl just kind of says, well, what do you think? Is it cool or is it cool?
It's oh, I'm not above it.
Let me say it, don't worry. There you go.
It's certainly something.
You kind of you see like there's like a DJ at the front, but like on a closer inspection you can tell that they're like a homunculus. They actually they look they have like brown hair and like like pale skin, sort of like a white uniform. This looks like a hot, like it almost resembles a homunculus from like a minor mage family that you've made dealings with before, that lives outside the Mages Association. In fact, most of these people basically just aren't recognized. They're very recognizable as mages, but not recognizable as clock tower mages.
Yeah.
These aren't the type of people who would be with the association, and well, that fits the description of how it was before. And you kind of like see Beryl, like, you know, like basically Beryl like puts a finger up and says like, "Just wait here. I'm gonna get the ringleader, so to speak." As he kind of disappears into the crowd, you kind of see Cleos like placing his hands over his ears, like,
Yeah.
"Master, does it have to be so loud? Could we perhaps ask the Masters of Ceremonies to turn it down?"
No, like imagine. Oh fuck! I'm out of character. No, out of character. It's Cyanidus, right? The god of party or Dionysus. Imagine saying to Dionysus to turn it down.
Well, this certainly does seem like a bacchanal, Master. It's... Oh, what are those noises? What are those instruments?
Sort of.
I just imagine the friggin' SpongeBob jellyfish party music.
As you see, like, you know, Beryl comes back, and you see, like, you know, his arm is over another kind of like slimy looking man with rose tinted glasses, silver hair, like sort of like an argyle like turtleneck sweater. Beryl kind of like calls over, Marvin, McRemitz, meet my brother from another mother. This is Randall Serpens Modore. This guy kind of like waves over and says, "Welcome to my establishment, Mr. McRemitz. I hope you're enjoying the Abyss nightclub. It's rather a paradise that I've set aside for myself."
It's surprisingly cleaner than some places where I've been.
Well, you know, there's we like it dirty here, but we gotta keep it clean. That's what I always say. I heard from Mr. Beryl over here that you're looking for bounties.
Yes.
Well, what's your ethics policy? What's your poison?
Depends on the price. And the target.
Well, how does killing some mafia goons sound to you?
From which family?
That's pretty simple and easy, right? The Cascadas have been cramping our style, you know. Been messing up a lot of things. This is the only safe place for mages in Manhattan now, you know. And that's because we have a bounded field around it. And around the entire city block.
Price?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what did you say?
Price.
Price. What does 5,000 sound for each guy?
Oh. How many? Where? When?
You've probably seen the boys in the news, or maybe you haven't, since I think you're a newcomer. Kind of passes you a newspaper with Alicia's gang on it.
Yeah.
These 5, kind of like pointing to like her boys. These ones dead. This one, pointing to Alicia, dead or alive.
I can work with that.
Well, you'll be doing Mage Kind a favor. Kind of like extends his hand. If we'll shake on it, and I'll get you your money once you get it to us. I've got a Gia scroll in the back.
Dang. I have a feeling Jay might be taxed out with, hey, watch the kid.
Yeah.
As your if you want to be like connected. If you want your connections with us.
This guy kind of like clicks his fingers, and you see like some other like just mage types come over, and says, "Here are the terms of the Gia scroll." So let me type.
Yeah, the terms of when he indeed says the Gia scroll, Marvin will have, of course, a reputation of never breaking his word.
Yeah.
But when he says Gia scrolls, he will see Marvin looking way more serious.
Kleos will actually ask, like, kind of like telepathically, like, "What's a Gia scroll?" This is past my time.
So, Jericho, out of character, just so that I understand correctly, because Gia scrolls are still sometimes weird for me.
Yeah.
Whatever is written in the terms cannot be broken, and if it does, the punishment results into losing.
So that's actually interesting. So Gia scroll, that's how Gias works in D&D. In Faith, it's actually a lot more absolute. Signing a self-Gia scroll basically binds your karma and soul to the contract, to the point where even like you can't actually break it. It does mean that you can't actually really put any loopholes, but your body will actively like disobey you if you try to go against it. Kind of like the effects of a command seal.
Yeah, so in order to transcribe it correctly to Kleos, he would say, imagine yourself being bound to a command seal. And so you cannot break it. If you try to break it, your body just works against you.
So there are magecrafts that even more mundane mages use that are similar to the command spell magecraft.
Yes. You can basically bind a person. It's what I was questioning placing on God, names.
Olga Gary.
Yes, on Olga. But I decided to take a risk and hope for a longer partnership. Because, I don't know, I see a good future for the kid. And I know she doesn't like when I say it. As Marvin just laughs a bit. So, what are the details?
Yeah, I am typing it out.
Alright. Take your time. Also, I don't know if I'm the only one who did it, but I just turned the music up a little bit when we entered, just to have that same effect.
Yeah.
There you go. Actually, wait. Let me type that out again because I realized the wording is a bit bad. Each for.
Also, Marvin would say, let's make the head 10 at least. You know, she's gonna clear up a lot for you.
Wait, say that again?
Let's make Alicia's head double, so 10. Because she is gonna provide a lot for you as she's gone.
When you say that, like, he says, True that, sir, but how can we guarantee that you'll actually be able to get her? I understand that you have a reputation, but reputation only gets you so far. I
Look
would
at
like
that.
some results.
Look at one of two things. I either get her hat, or you don't have to pay. And probably when you don't have to pay, you have to look for my body. Even without the gear scroll, I don't go back on my word.
Roll me a persuasion with advantage.
Persuasion 17.
Okay. So, kind of says, right, well, you'll have to wait until we'll need to wait a few moments while we write up a new gear scroll, but fine. I'm willing to, put a chance on you.
And if you want, just to be honest, I want the names separate, not binded together.
Yeah, I will say, it was just my fault for like wording it weirdly. Like the gear scroll would have them like separately. It's just yeah.
Alright, 1 week. Deal has not been notified. It will be just null and void. Alright.
So basically, when you look at this gear scroll, you can tell, honestly, like from the people you've worked with before, you can tell that this guy's actually like
really nice. Yes.
Really nice. Like this guy owns like a pretty seedy bar, and he and Beryl like seem to be like joined at the hip. Like their arms are still around each other, like hugging each other. But like, in terms of like this guy's just like a genuine businessman. The Gias is really just a formality.
Yeah.
Like this has no risk to you whatsoever.
Do you have any information on location?
Location. Isn't that the question? No, unfortunately we don't. We do know that they tend to hang around the lower Manhattan for their little bank robberies. But in terms of where they're based, I can tell you where the Cascada Manor is. The problem is, well, you probably don't want to be storming that place yourself. But if you want to use it for reconnaissance, I'm happy to provide that information for you.
Please do. And it wouldn't be my first hideout I'm busting down alone.
Well, if you're so confident, be my guest. It's not like it's any particular loss to me.
That's what I thought. As Marvin actually starts to smirk and signs away the contract. I wanted to say his soul, but technically he does.
Yeah, technically he is binding his soul to it, yeah. But yeah, so yeah, you signed that shit with your blood. As you are now bound to this scroll. You basically, yeah, like just however, I will say that any attempt to based on the scroll's terms, it says blank will provide the heads of them and will provide the head or custody of Alicia Cascata, either one, basically.
Getting that.
Which means that any attempt to like non-lethally kill them. I did it on purpose.
I know, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, non-lethally killing is logical, alright? It isn't, but it is.
Any attempt to non-lethal them will like literally not work. I will not allow you to non-lethal them.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
Question, do I need to bring the physical head?
No. The head is symbolic. You don't act like if you headshot them, that's fine.
Like,
you don't have to
I
like
was gonna
you don't have to like
say-
spend an hour like scraping up the meat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if one of them got their heads blown off, would that make the contract null and void?
Listen, one day non-lethally kill is gonna be a thing. I don't care if it's just now. I don't
it is
care if
not
it
a
is
thing.
10 time.
It is not a
10
thing.
years. I don't know if it takes 100 years. If we're one day popular, I will make non-lethally killing a thing. You cannot stop me.
How do you
For-
non-lethally kill somebody? There's
Like
legality
fucking-
in killing, you weird.
What's it called?
Make sure they are in a. Well, let's not discuss this now. Let's.
After
Marvin sticks it
sessions.
on a t-shirt.
After
But
sessions
yeah,
talks.
So, but yeah, like you won't be able to, yeah. And if you ever make any attempt to like, basically, take Alicia Cascada anywhere but, the Abyss nightclub, you won't be able to.
Okay,
Basically,
so Marvin's not gonna be the driver.
You've got basically you've basically just been turned into a Terminator. When it comes to like, being anywhere near them.
That's only if I take her in custody that I cannot take her anywhere but.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, so Katya.
Is the church that Ivan messaged me on the way to the dockyard?
I would say probably not. I'd say the church is actually like in the city.
Okay, so in that case, I am gonna do the thing of find like the closest, cheapest hotel near the dockyards. Rent it out.
Yes.
For the day, but I'm only gonna be there for like half an hour before I just leave.
Yeah, that's fine. What are you doing in the hotel? Because you said that you wanted like a safe space to do rituals.
Yeah, I want to do some rituals. Primarily, I want to cast Death Ward on myself and Saber.
Okay. Give me a quick second.
Oh, this will be perfect. With the.
Okay, so with Death Ward, actually, tell me how you flavor it. Actually,
Good question. I haven't thought about it. I imagine it would be similar to Aura of Vitality, where I draw a circle, but instead of like a slow, gentle aura of healing, it just charges up for like 10 minutes until all the mana just suddenly like basically in like a one go just like reinforces
yeah.
the person it's cast on.
So you cast it on yourself and Saber.
Mm-hmm.
After you're done, like Saber kind of like blinks and like places a hand to her chest. This is quite the sacrament, Master. I feel as if my spirit origin core has been coated with an outer shell.
Yeah, it does feel weird, doesn't it?
This is... I was not aware that you had such tricks up your sleeve.
I can surprise sometimes. Anyway, hopefully we won't need it.
Yes, indeed. I will be by your side at all times, Master. Don't you worry. They won't get a drop on us.
About that. I'm there to make an arms deal. I don't want to
Master?
provoke anyone.
Master? You promised me that you would stop doing stupid, foolish things by yourself.
Yes, I did. I've done stuff like this before, I know what I'm doing.
Persuasion check.
Okay.
Wow, the two people who have shit persuasion have to roll the goddamn persuasion checks.
Except I have confidence in my words.
Mhm.
Saber just breathes in. Fine. You seem a lot more determined than usual. So I'll trust that you are being truthful about being experienced in this sort of thing.
You have my word that a second a shot gets fired or blade gets drawn, I'll immediately run away and let you know.
Good. Fine. I'll allow it. For now. But keep me updated.
I will. I'll ask you to wait outside the dockyard with a motorcycle.
Very well. That sounds like a sound plan. As eventually you make your way to
I'm also gonna
oh yeah?
enhance ability charisma.
Yeah.
Jericho is getting to be like 10 o'clock. Jay goes down to the car rental. He
Yeah.
hires a dude. I want a specific car. Something that's kind of fancy that says, "Ayo, I'm a gangster."
Yeah. Also,
Hold
Vorti, how long do you have to go? Or like are we should we end it now?
Like 10 more minutes, I think.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Well, damn, it's okay.
Don't apologize!
Yeah, it's
Shit
best we probably
happens.
leave this for tomorrow then.
Yeah.
Tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this
again.
again.
We don't play Dark Souls tomorrow.
we're
We play
gonna run.
Fate Eternal Wait.
We're gonna run Dark Souls. Yeah, by the way, for the audience, we have a Dark Souls campaign on Fridays. We don't stream that one because we're basically right there at the end. What's it called? Self-plug, self-promotion, probably something in the future coming. Anyway, continue.
And the
As I will say that we're going to end this off as Katya, you come to the docks alone. As you kind of what's it called? You see quite a few mobsters there. Actually, like a lot more than you were thinking. You thought this would be a lot more discreet, but for some reason, there's just a lot of them. As you know, they all kind of like place their they seem to be on guard, placing their guns up at you.
I slowly place my rifle on the floor. After doing so, I take a step back with both my hands up.
And you kind of hear, "You blithering idiots! You complete asinine fools! I have to deal with these idiots so often. I do genuinely apologize, ma'am." As you see, stepping out from the shadows is well, actually, the first thing you hear are the kind of like as you see the men kind of like drop their guns and like kind of like spread apart. Boys, what did I tell you? We conduct business. We conduct good, sensible talks. We don't conduct bloodbaths. I apologize, ma'am, for my men. They're still learning they're still relearning the old ways.
Apology accepted.
My name is Alphonse Roberto Cascada. I'm the boss around these parts now. And this is my darling Manhattan Cafe. As he kind of like scritches his horse.
That is so cute.
I hear that you're here for a quick and easy deal. We can do that.
Indeed, a couple grenades, a couple flashbangs. As you said, a quick deal.
You don't get in our way, and my boys won't have to get in yours. Kind of clicks his finger. This man by his side kind of like grabs like a briefcase from like these boys and walks up to you, places down the briefcase, and now kindly give us the money.
Alright, just gonna like list down here what I'm planning on buying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I hand over the hard cash to this dude.
Kind of comes over. Roberto looks into the briefcase. Fine enough. You hear a click click. By the way, lass,
Mm-hmm.
you smells like a mage to me. Any reason you're around our turf?
I heard you selling goods for cheap.
I bet you heard that we're a mage killing family too, girl.
I have. I'm assuming there's a bounty on my head. Or is there?
Nope, you're a smart lass. You know where to poke your nose in and you know where to get out. Listen, us Cascadas have the priorities completely straight. You got that? We don't harm civilians. We don't get anyone involved except the ones on our bounties. And the ones who get in our way. Now, I'm doing this out of business. And I don't mean to threaten you. I just mean to give you a friendly warning to not go on our turf uninvited.
Understood. I'll make sure not to get in your way. I don't
Got a
plan
good
to staying here for long anyway.
You got a good head on you, lass. Make sure that we don't have to take it.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business. Now, you can go skedaddle. We're waiting on, Apparently, little birdie told me that somebody else wants to sit down. As you turn to leave, Katya,
Mm-hmm.
you see walk out, kind of like ringing the chains, rattling the chains to the old ship nearby. You see, of all fucking people,
Jay in his head is like, crap, what is she doing here? It's
I just
her-
mutter under my breath as
her.
well, like, huh? Jay, what the fuck are you doing here?
nice night for a walk, eh, Mr. Lucas? Don't worry, Missy here was just leaving.
Slowly start making my way, like, past Jay as I just, like, stare intensely at him.
That just makes it more suspicious.
As, that's where we end our session.
Okay. You know, sorry that my absence has to cut this short. But
It's okay.
I hope
All is well.
had a lot of fun today, and I hope the audience enjoyed listening to our shenanigans.
Yeah.
You know, all the good stuff, like, comment, subscribe, because I want that ego boost of my channel growing. Plug and promotion. Bard runs a YouTube Shorts channel on the side that has a lot of D&D shenanigans as well. Be sure to check him out. You know, Nathan over here, aka Alderoftrees, writes some fanfics, pretty good. Up and coming writing. Next Tolkien. Jericho also runs the YouTube channel that uploads the videos on the side. Make sure to check them out. Marvin has no social media presence, but he's pretty cool. So you know, so you know,
Really, just gotta rub that in there.
whenever he does something, you know, check him out. Katya, Katya does some pretty good art. Commission her as well.
Yeah,
KitsuneHarmony. KitsuneHarmony.
Oh yeah, remember, she doesn't have an Instagram.
Shit, that's true. But well, whatever
he has
the
Twitter
case,
and Blue Sky.
whatever the case
Yep,
is.
give me your money.
Yeah. Whatever the case is, you know, we will see you all next time on Fate.
Have a
Eternal
wonderful
Blade.
night. Have a wonderful night.
Adios.
And till our next